I'm back again today. I know, right? Two times in one day. Well, I wanted to come back on because I had a few moments to spend. So I wanted to talk about a digital sky and a time loop. Hey, I'll wait for a few more people to get in. So I know a lot of people have been talking about, oh, we're in a time loop, we're in a digital, this yeah, that's true. And someone was commenting and they were talking about that part on Doctor Strange where he trapped um Dormammu, is that what his name was? In a time loop. And I feel that's what is happening now. We're in like a time or the world is standing still and we're in a time loop as far as the digital sky is concerned. Y'all, my forehead is shiny. I think it's this light. So if you're gonna stop the world, as Beyonce says in her song Feeling Myself, she says, change the game with that digital drop. Know where you were when that digital popped. I stopped the world. To me, this means it could mean two things. Know where you were when that digital popped. So for me, I'm like, okay, what events do does everyone say, oh, I know where I was during this event? There's only two events in recent history where people can say, I know where I was when this happened. And can you name the two? Then she says, I stopped the world, male or female. It makes no difference. I stopped the world. World stop. Carry on. Okay, so yeah. So each of those, like, yeah, you got it. And she used the word popped. And she said, change the game with that digital drop. Michael Jackson did that first, and this is it. Okay. So basically, she's singing through that perspective on that part. And then she says, I stopped the world. World stop. Carry on. That means carry on within the world, but time has stopped. The sky has to be digital if time has stopped because that's what time is. So if time has stopped and the world has stopped, then the sky has to be digital and weather has to be made because if the earth is not rotating or revolving or all that kind of good stuff, then we're going to have like some sort of simulation. And interesting enough, people are noticing the sky. And even on the Lemon song, Rihanna says, tell the paparazzi get the lens right. Saying, sometimes the sky looking kind of iffy, y'all need to fix it. As people can tell. So if we are in a time loop, that means we're being forced to, be here together until, how when you get in trouble with your little sister and you have to be in the same room until y'all can all get along and then, you can all come out, the world can start coming back up, spinning again. So are y'all still here or did it get cut off? I don't know if I don't see comments. I think I'm just talking to nobody. Okay, thank you. So I appreciate that, y'all. So if we're in a time loop, how much time do we have to stay in this time loop? How long are we gonna stay here? And I was reading in my book that I was decoding, that little Bible book thing that I bought with all the chapters in it, with obviously coded information. So I already know that this person who wrote this book understands the code because I can tell the way he writes, he words things very precisely. So it says for September 18th, we're not even in September 18th, but this is the date on that little book. It says Jesus, we already discussed what Jesus was. I am anointed, I am melanated, planned it all. It says, um, plan his own sacrifice Oh shoot. So this again goes into the, planning your own death scenario, and intentionally planted the tree from which the cross will be carved. So, you know how in the media you can plant stories? Well, MJ was very adamant on planting stories about himself, and also things so that he could sacrifice himself, um, as far in front of the media, and willingly placed the iron ore on the heart of the earth from which the nails would be cast. So he willingly took on this false accusations in order to make people upset and make people's heart chakra, you know, um, not vibrate as high. It means he voluntarily placed, this idea. And he's voluntarily putting this idea. And it means that he was the one who set it all in motion, the political machinery that would send plight to Jerusalem. And it would also mean that he didn't have to do it, but he did. So basically, it's saying that everything was already planned. And as far as in America, this was already planned for many, 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 many years. And in order for someone to sacrifice their fame and their life and their identity and things like that in order to get enough people to get on a certain frequency and to come together, because that was his whole message, MJ, um, and do all of these things. The world has stopped. The sky is digital, and now it's like, okay, now I'm going to force y'all to get along, heal the world. um and the moon is like, yeah, the moon looks extra huge, and I've never seen it look like that big. So I know that's like, it can't be real. So knowing that everything is planned and this is all, part of a big thriller motion picture. Oh, it's only a movie. It's only a screen. I feel like even in some songs, like through other artists, there are, hints and clues given as to what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. So it's kind of like, okay, so now what? What we got to do now? Like, we decide the ending. That's the whole point, and we haven't decided the ending. Ugh. Mhm. Like, no one. Can you transcend through the digital? That, I mean, I'm sure you could, but then you would know. But I feel like for those that are here right now, we're like, um, why is the world paused? You know what I mean? Why is it paused? Is there something that needed that it needed to be paused for? Because you don't pause something unless, you're expecting something. You know what I'm saying? There will be no need to pause something if time was not an issue. Right. So, like Doctor Strange, time was paused to keep from destroying that last, Hong Kong, whatever site, which means the world will be taken over or the world will be destroyed. So it's on pause for a reason. And the reason is obviously very important if they're going to do all of this. It's not a practical joke, it's very important. So if we realize that the world has paused and stopped, it's for a reason, and we better get to getting on that reason. Then we got to do something, I guess. You got to take action on it or get to understand why it's paused. So I know the reason why it's paused. I understand why it's paused. And if you understand why it's paused, then you have a little bit of time to kind of get your information together and then be all right with it. And the reason, like, if you think about what happened on the Doctor Strange movie, um, the time loop was getting very, very annoying. And so, um, the destruction stopped. You know what I'm saying? So during this time loop, things are going to get really annoying and things are just going to have to stop because it's going to keep going over and over and over. That's why in that Gold Roses song, you hear the track rewinding in the background because it keeps rewinding. And I've talked about this before because we had a time loop. So if you go last year, you'll hear the same thing, probably around the same time or close to it, that we were in a time loop and you can hear the backmasking and the rewinding of the track in the background. hmm And I feel like, okay, now what? I'm noticing fashion. Like there's no new fashion. It's just old stuff being mixed up, old clothes being mixed around. Retro coming back. Where's the new stuff? You know what I'm saying? Where that new stuff? And the only the only the only advances in technology, are distractions and weather apparatus. So, today a huge storm just came out of nowhere because they're pushing out too many clouds and like lightning struck and like the lights in the restaurant went out and it was just crazy. And then like 2 minutes later it was beautiful sunny day again. I'm like, what? Y'all know that y'all are bad at this, right? Y'all need to find somebody with some talent to run that cloud machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, get someone with some talent. Get someone that's smarter. Because y'all putting out too much. It's too much clouds. Like there's not that much clouds ever in the history of the world. Okay. Um, I'm gonna show y'all a photo just so y'all can understand. Cause like where I am, it look like the sky is full of cotton balls, y'all. It's too much. And wait, oh, it's on Snapchat. Hold on. I'm like, what? Okay. I'm gonna put it up close. This was the entire sky for 3 days, just clouds after just too many. Like, and they're not even high; they're low, like on the ground. And then out of nowhere, a giant, black cloud that's pouring rain. You can see the rain pour right here. Just comes out of nowhere, blocks that sun, drops rain for 5 minutes, and just poof gone. So, like thunder don't even sound real. Anyway, I'm like, what is that? So I noticed this in downtown Houston. Yeah, you see all those crazy clouds. It's like, what? Anyway, then I took a photo of the moon tonight and it looks just like the sun because it's so big and bright. Like people are gonna say, oh, that's the sun. So I had to write moon on it. So when I go back through my photos, I won't think it's the sun. Mm, you know that? So yeah. So the thing that we have to get right is to understand that what they want for America or what America, y'all, I can't even talk about it that because no one's going to believe it. What they want for America is the whole country to like really ascend in consciousness and racial relations and all of that. Hey, this like if they're forcing us to do it's like a bunch of bad kids in timeout. That's what we are. Come on in, Lamb. We're not. Okay, what's up? That's how I feel. Well, we're a bunch of bad kids in timeout, and Donald Trump. Donald Trump is our representative. Okay, and we in timeout. We got to get it together. And it's funny because the fact that he's representing us is hilarious because that's exactly how um, we behave, and it's hilarious. That's exactly how we all behave. We some trolls. We some crazy idiots that's on social media too much. We're racist. We're ratchet. we're uh, we don't care about people. When natural disasters happen, we go back to doing what we was doing. I'm telling y'all, y'all mad at Trump, but what y'all doing? Hello, the echo, right? Sounds like we're yeah. No, we are in timeout right now. We're in timeout, and Donald Trump is our reflection. And if we got time to get it right, but no one realizes that we're in timeout. They still acting bad. They don't even know they being punished. The longer we're in timeout, the longer we have to have this 5G, this UVB radiation from this simulated sun or whatever, this low frequency and all that kind of stuff, this fake weather and this digital sky, the longer we're in timeout. So, and until we realize that we're in timeout, you know, we're gonna be stuck for a little while. Right. Everything is fake. I'm like, why don't I know the food is fake, like a lot, not fake, but like, um, they put so much stuff in the food now, nothing rots anymore. You gotta make it rot on purpose. Like, dang, hurry up and rot so I can throw you out. I'm waiting. You know how you buy stuff and leave it in there and it rots and like in the fridge and not now it's not even rotting and you're like you won't throw it away and it won't rot. Y'all like waiting on each other. Like when you gonna rot? Or when you gonna throw me away? When you rot? Or why don't you eat me? Because you I don't trust you. You know, that's the talk I'm having with tomatoes in my fridge and fruit and stuff. So something is off. You know, I don't want to eat it after it sits in there and don't go bad. I'm like, I don't think so. If I let me rub it on my face though. Anyway, you have a tomato in there like that now? It's Groundhog Day. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Well, no wonder I could have so much time and energy because I ain't getting old. Shoot, whatever. I'm taking it. Um, you feel good, and I also feel like since our bodies are so used to, the cycles, and now it's stopped. A lot of us are going like, you know, our biological clocks and our bodies are off because we're not in the correct position. We're not doing what we used to do. That's why when a lot of people started having that vertigo when a couple of months ago. Hmm. You got a watermelon like that? I know. Throw that stuff out. I'm scared of it. Like I don't even know why we keep buying it. Even the organic stuff won't go bad. Some of it will, but dang. Um, but the good thing about it is that we have time to sit, think, and ponder, and we're in timeout. And we can figure out how to, do what we are supposed to be doing. Hmm. Yeah, bananas still go bad. You When I see a banana stop going bad, I'm not eating anymore. Right. Like bananas won't go bad. Oh no, that's fake. So, hmm, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but hey, I think we're supposed to start learning and understanding each other to figure out. Oh, my book is downstairs because I was reading in that book and it's full of clues. And we're supposed to learn about each other and figure out who is who and act accordingly. And we're supposed to figure out who is who, what is what, and go forward accordingly. All right. Sure. Do you know of Lucid Living TV? No, I don't really remember people's. I'm bad with names, y'all. If I see a video and click on it and like it, and I subscribe to it, and I'm a regular subscriber to a person, I remember their name. But if I just see a random video floating around, I don't remember the name of the channel. So, but I don't think so. I'm not like a yeah. Yeah, I'd be forgetting too. I think I just more trying to get the information. Mhm. I don't know who. You know what? Don't ask me if I watch people because I'm like, if I don't watch them, I'm not gonna recognize their name. Or if I do watch them, I might not even know their name. I'm bad with names. Like I don't like the whole thing is I just get the information and keep moving because to me sometimes it's not it. I don't need the name. I just need the information and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? It, it's kind of it's kind of like rude, I know, but we're on a computer, we're on a phone. Why the birth chart is a part of knowing thyself. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Lo, honey. Well, it kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to what, the stars are saying about you. But ultimately you rule the stars, especially if you are cosmic being. So it just depends whether, it gives you a little bit of insight on your personality and things like that. But in the end, you are the one that decides. But before you knew all of that, you could see why you did certain things that may be hidden that you may need to strengthen. Uh-huh. What When you die, do you still have to wait 4 days? Yeah, that is the proper way. Like if you look at all the ancient funerary traditions before embalming, um, not mummification, but embalming. Most ancient tribes and things like that would allow the body time to to transition. So yeah, that's what it is. Is James knowledgeable? No, I have to tell him this stuff so he know how to die too. So that's why they got me though. What kind of household would this be if everybody knew what I knew? Then I couldn't get what I wanted. Come on now, gotta have an advantage. um Mhm. Wait to decay for 4 days? Yeah. Well, you're not really decaying. That's the natural chemical process that your body must go through. Just like you have to wait to be born, you have to wait in death as well. That's why they call it a wait. Awake. Wait, wakes, whatever. They're waiting for your other body to awake and get up out of there. Okay. But see, the funeral industry will embalm you and take all your good old plasma out of you. And so it's not gonna be the same. So that's why I was in the funeral business. I saw everything. I know what they do. That's why I'm not getting embalmed. And it's like they messed up they perverted the process. And I'm not unless you make them wait 72 hours before they embalm that body, then whatever. Then you might be good. So if you just have will you hold the body for 3 days and then will make then do what you gotta do. If you do that, yes. But you know, just wait at least 3 to 4 days, okay? What happened if someone is buried? If they're buried with all of their organs and they have not been embalmed and their body is touching the earth, like the Muslim burials, I think that's good. Yeah. What if you're an organ donor? Take your name off the list and don't be an organ donor? Okay. Because that's your stuff. That's part of your soul. You giving it away? I am not an organ donor. Right. What does being called? I don't even know. You have to look that one up for me. Is the same what? Ashanti? Yeah. Look that one up. I don't know. Right. Can I become a cosmic being? I don't know. Can you? Mhm. I'm so happy my granny wasn't embalmed after 5 days. She was cremated and have her good. See, that's good. The last one couldn't handle it to be strong, a soldier of love. What? Y'all need to start making some sense. Okay. So yeah, we're in a time loop and we're in timeout until people get sick of all the stuff that's going to happen over and over and over and over until they change. That's how I feel. Every year the same stuff happens. We have disasters. We have people get shot. We have all these crazy stuff. Oh, every year it's the same. You could pick the news from 5 years ago and play it today, and it's gonna be like the same thing, except different names. You know? hmm You are about to be imbued with power. I know. hmm The debate is on. Okay, I don't watch any debates because I don't care. If I watch anything, I'm decoding. That's the only reason. I'm not watching it for literal reasons, for political reasons. I'm watching it to decode because there's somebody already over the political stuff. Okay, it's already been done. Like whatever, it's already been decided. You know what I'm saying? If there's even proof of it in like so many ancient texts, biblical texts, um, you know, uh, coded text, songs, and everything. Everyone knows that it's already orchestrated. So I don't even see why people waste their time except to only decode. Um, Mhm. Right. It says, "We are the ones who set the political machinery in motion." So we already know everything is for a reason. So thank you, Deanna Joelle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, girl. That's my thoughts on fasting. Girl, y'all keep asking me what I think about the same things every day. I don't care about spiritual fasting. You know why? Because I'm going to eat. My spirit, my soul needs food. Okay. If I starve, the only time I fast is when I'm on here for so many hours with you guys. That's my spiritual fasting. When y'all see me on here for hours upon hours at a time and not eating anything, that's my spiritual fast. But I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be mean, but no. I don't think anything about spiritual fasting because I don't do that. I don't need to do it. I don't feel like I have no reason to do it. Okay. Mm. If I ever have a reason to do it, then I'll let you guys know. Mhm. Okay. This is absurd. Mhm. I drink my water and I forgot to bring it up. Oh, see, why did you have to remind me? Sasha, can you go get my water in my room downstairs? In that pink cup? Mhm. Um, just because I'm not spiritually knowledgeable doesn't mean I hop on every spiritual trend. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know a lot about all these spiritual trends that people are doing, but I know about information, stuff that I actually need. Um, I don't hop on any type of trends spiritually. If I like doing something, I'm gonna do it. If I don't like doing it, I ain't gonna do it. If it resonates with me, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I won't. Okay. What do I drink in my mugs every day? Water or tea. Sometimes I have coffee if it's the morning. Okay. Box. Yeah. Hmm. I have a question for girls who. This is the wrong channel, baby. Why do some souls reincarnate? Because they want to come back and finish up or continue where they left off or get another lesson or strengthen their knowledge here on earth. Um, thank you. Thank you, Sasha. It's my water. Oh gosh. Lack of consciousness is another, you said another reason for reincarnation. Yeah, because they got to rebuild that consciousness that they lost. Hmm. When I think about atheists, I don't think about them. Right. I don't have an opinion on everything because I don't think about everything. Because I don't, that's more important to me. So I don't really care. I think J Axe Family Feud, Jay Z's Family Feud is relevant to today. Yeah. Hmm. How do people know they lost their consciousness? You know how you have a person and you feel like they're an old soul and they know a lot and they catch on to things very quick. It almost seems like they are born and they continued from where they left off and like they've been doing something for many years and they just started. You know the little kids that be just coming out being geniuses and dancing and doing stuff you couldn't do if you trained for 20 years. They took their consciousness. They came back with a consciousness. Everybody just walking around like zombies and babies and still don't know what to do and trying to struggle and learn. Those people didn't take theirs with them. Okay. There you go. Them people that can't do nothing right, can't remember, no matter how many times you tell them something, they don't listen. It's like, okay, you didn't take your consciousness with you, did you? You starting over from scratch, right? That's how I feel. Mhm. But there's this underlying feeling that you've been here before, but you just don't have the experience to go with it. So it's kind of frustrating at the same time, which then can translate into anxiety or depression. You don't know why you feel this way because you've been here too many times and you still haven't gotten it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sure, I brought the dream potion from Man of Letters and I drank it as instructed in the bottle, but I still can't remember any of my dreams. What should I do? Girl, you need to tell yourself to remember your dreams every night before you go to bed. Remember your dreams. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, write them down or record, do a voice recording on your phone of you telling what your dream is. But you have to keep telling yourself, you have to instruct yourself to remember them. Okay. Can I decode animal sacrifices that are in plain sight? Well, the same as human sacrifice, you know. If you and I talked about this so many videos before, animal sacrifices usually in the old days consisted of like sheeps and lambs and stuff like that because their organs are high in melanin. And when that sacrifice was the plasma was transitioning, the person that did the sacrifice would send up their request into the cosmos with that sheep's melanin or plasma, whatever. So it was like the sacrificial lamb or a way to send a message, you know? Hmm. Thank you, Deanna Joel, for the donation. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Melanin doesn't have any benefits besides protecting us against the sun and warning and inviting people to stay far away. Actually, you're right, Mandy. It doesn't have any benefits for you. You melanin has the benefits. So you melanin. So perhaps that's what you meant. The U melanin is what makes your skin turn dark, and the pigment in there, that's what they call that type of melanin is U melanin, and it is highly it absorbs energy like a solar panel, and also it doesn't react to radiation the same way that less eumelanated skin does. So it's yeah. Hmm. We already know you ain't going nowhere, Mandy. We'll see you around next time with a blank slate. We'll see you next time with a blank slate. She had to be white clean because she don't remember. She, she said soon be one for Christ. She is Christ. Okay. Go watch my video I made. What is a Jesus? Hmm. She's a Christ. I'm a Christ. They're Christs. S- Some of them know it though. Some of them don't, but they are. Right. I don't think poor Mandy. She don't know what's gonna happen or know what it is. But the funny thing is, you know, it would be funny to see her face on that day. If anybody's around Mandy, take a snapshot of that. Okay. Mhm. We have the potential to be gods. Yeah. Right, right, right. Mandy, the Lord said to humble yourself. Jesus said, humble yourself. Don't you read the Bible, girl? Humble yourself, girl. What the heck? The funny thing is, I'll call them Christians that take Christianity literal. They go around telling people to be humble, but have the worst ego themselves. How are you gonna tell somebody to be humble and you up in here being like you be? Right. I am not in don't you listen to Kendrick? Right. Right. He's not talking to us though. He's not talking to me or any he's not even talking to women. I gotta go listen to that again. Oh shoot. I was looking up something. I think that was the right one. Anyway, um, I was trying to find this verse, but anyway, Mandy, just go worship Jesus. Like, go worship Jesus, because when you do that, you pay homage to us. So go have a good day.
Mom,
Hmm?
are you telling her to worship us?
No, I told her to worship Jesus because
But
she says that.
we are Jesus.
That's why I'm telling her to go do her thing. Right. Hmm. Where can I find more info on you melanin? Just look up melanin science, and then look up you melanin, and then look up. Um, Also, yeah, just look that up. You can find it online. It's free. There's books on it too, but just Google it, and a bunch of stuff will just pop up. Uh huh. Will you have to piggyback off of someone when I die if I'm melanated black? No. Mhm. Thank you for that, nature. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Purple Moose. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You know how in that Beyonce song, um, on the Carter album, where she says, "We don't need no voucher. We good. We good. You know, we the ones y'all worried about." On the voucher would be, hitching a ride out. Getting a covering, being saved by a Jesus. So yeah, I heard about us. Thank you, Ebony. the song "Heard About Us" by the Carters, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Um, when they when they say the N word in these songs, when they're speaking to a certain group of people, and they're not speaking about who you think they're speaking about. So what they're saying is, "We're good. We don't need a voucher." You know. So right. Y'all are trolling. Like, I'm not even gonna read some of the stuff I read. Anyway, yep. Native Americans, Latino, Hispanic, Hispanics. I'm reading what you're saying. Yep, they good. You're crying. It's that full moon. Do you know tomorrow never comes? Yes, I do. We're in a time loop, right? We're looping it up. Lupe Fiasco in it up. Why are you angry? Then go get some. YOLO. Thank you. How do you get out of the time loop? Be good. Do what we're supposed to do. Um, America was supposed to be all one by now. You know what I'm saying? Everything was supposed to be all one. You know that "Make America Great Again"? It's supposed to be everybody's supposed to be all one people, literally. Mhm. Can you talk about the 2020 shift? Yeah, 2020 is like after that time loop, I think it's supposed to go back to going, but I don't know if it's kind of like if we don't get something accomplished within this time loop, then who knows what's going to be. But I feel like, of course, the power is going to shift tremendously. More things will be revealed, and a lot of things are going to change, major change. Um, I'm trying to read some of these comments. Mhm. America was great before it was discovered by people that shouldn't have been over here. It was doing fine. It was great. Okay.
Yes, there's
Yeah. You know, just how, oh, yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome. They were all scalping each other. And what were you doing? Eating each other? Where were y'all at? You know, don't point the finger. That's their custom. Hey, what's your custom? Y'all okay, Manny, I'm gonna show you something. You want to talk about scalp. Let me show you what your friends did. I was gonna save this and post it. Leather made from human skin during slavery still being sold today. Your friends do that. Do that. That's nasty, right? Um, if they didn't do it out of custom or tradition, they did it out of evilness. So there's a difference. At least, they were fighting for, you know, territory, and that was their custom, and that's how they lived and survived, and they weren't destroying nothing, and everything was still in harmony. Um, right. Y'all, there's a lot of history that is always going to be hidden from people because they don't want to look at it. So when you want to see like real history, you have to go and look for it because they're not going to teach it or show it. You have to look for history because sometimes people will hide it all the time. Hmm. Oh, what do you think about the real rapture? The real rapture is okay, if there was a earth shattering event or a major, you know, event, let's say like the Bahamas, and a bunch of people died in America. Um, the rapture is going up into the cosmos, and some people will not get taken like by the other souls. They will have to stay here, you know. So the other souls that are able to get into the cosmos are going to have, you know, the more melanin. So they return to where they came from. And if you don't have someone to rapture you up with them and either their soul and their spirit, then you get to stay here. Hmm. Right. As far as a roaming, you can go back down into the earth, and then when someone else is born, you can be reincarnated through them, but you won't have your consciousness. That wipes clean. That get the blank slate again. Hmm. How many souls can you take up there with you? Depending on how much you got, how much you got to cover people. Like on that song, "What Money in the Grave," Rick Ross says he dripping like he's worth $1 zillion because he's very melanated. So, um, what happens to those who go to the cosmos? They live in the nothing. No, um, when you change forms and you transition, it's like a caterpillar asking what a butterfly does when it flies away. You can't know until you do it. You know what I'm saying? The caterpillar will not have any information or knowledge on what it's like to be a butterfly. You'd have to ask a butterfly. So, right. I would think it would be a whole new world, you know. True. I was still pondering on what you said about dying, going down some of the go to like going down the chakras, also the halls of Amenti, also, you can also say the earth, but everything is within. And then everything is within, and then the next step is without. So then it would be the earth, and then it would be above. So start within first. Go down into your um, chakra system, your soul. I already explained it on the other video. I don't want to make this video about that. So just go watch that video. So I'm talking about the chakra system as well as the body and as well as the earth. Sometimes people talk about the earth and the body as one when they're doing symbolism because Do you think there will be this so-called Antichrist ruling the planet? Blank stare. Christ means anointed. Anointed means like, what do you anoint someone with? What is anointment? Anointment in French is ointment. Ointment is medicine or oil, and that represents melanin. So the anti anointed would be the less melanated. So there, I think it's been like that for a long time. But, and that, oop, somebody said it. Oop. So yeah. Hmm. Some people go back to summer of school, just stop anti what? What? Right. Ethiopia is 7 years behind. Is that true? I don't know. I've heard that before too. I'd have to look into that. I had to like do some research on that. You heard that we should sleep towards the north. Yes. Right. I sleep towards the north. And I didn't even know it. When I had my bed moved at that place, it's toward the north. But I think a lot of bedrooms position the bed to go that way. I don't know why. When you build when the house is built, they do that automatically. Um, right, right. But I think who- can you give us a quick oh no, babe, this is the wrong channel. Create your own universe. Exactly. Like while we're here, we can create whatever. You know, you can still use the earth as, a place where you can live great. Focus on, living your best life right now. And don't worry about the time loop. Don't worry about the Antichrist. Don't worry about any of that stuff right now. Just make sure you're doing what you need to be doing, what you want to be doing. I think this time is to also allow people to really soak in what things really are, to get that pause moment to ponder that we just don't have. Hmm. Right. So, like, it doesn't matter that people take things literally and don't understand it. If enough people keep putting the information out there and it gets to circulating and it gets to be mainstream, then you can't really deny it after a while because a lot of ancient texts will back it up. And eventually, someone is going to come out of their pride and go do the research and find that truth. And that takes a lot. I'm sure people have already done that, but it's going to take a lot to actually just admit certain things. Hmm. Um, well, we're raising in frequency. Some of us, yeah, a lot of us are. Hmm. Enlightened tribe. What? Are y'all talking to each other? Let me like expand this a little bit so I can read the comments better. Woo a word. Mhm. Okay. The Bible suggests that it's supposed to be decoded. Of course, yeah. The whole thing is to be decoded. It does not mean like a lot of people are walking around literally quoting the Bible, quoting the verses, but have no idea what it means, and then have the audacity to try to explain what it means to someone that has already decoded it. It's just funny to me, and it's just crazy, and it's sad because it's like no matter what they it's like no matter what those certain people are like just stuck. They're stuck in their own time loop, in their own like head loop actually, because they can't evolve past that. You know, they can't see it any deeper than that. And it's kind of like their evolution has stopped. Their progress has stopped and it's like, okay. Please do decoding videos. Yes. Mhm. I like to decode lyrics and videos. Like I look at the lyrics and the video, and 'cause sometimes the lyrics don't go with the video. They just do a symbolic video. If the lyrics aren't symbolic, they'll make it a super symbolic video. Right. Hmm. Okay. Align with your higher purpose. Right. Favorite lyricist. Too many. Like somebody wanted to see my earring. Okay, there you go. Favorite lyricist, I don't have a favorite, there's too many, and I don't even know if people are ghostwriting for other people, so I can't really say who my favorite lyricist is. But as far as music is concerned, right now, like the top 3, I'd have to say Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Drake, Lupe Fiasco, I threw 4 in there. Um, they're really putting in of course, Michael, he's y'all already know Michael was already a head shoe in, but as far as, like, rappers. Mhm. The Golden Rose was nice. Did you hear Drake's part? Because I know on the video, I don't know if they played Drake's part, but on if you just listen to the song that features Drake, there's an earful in that too. He said he don't fly Spirit. Did you hear that part? He said he don't fly Spirit. Um, yes, Drake, the Jew, the half Jew, the black Jew, the bright black, the yellow Jew. He talks a lot about that in his songs too. He's like he's going like he's getting money, like he's not going in the opposite direction as a lot of them go, to mix out all of his to mix out his melanin. He said he put some money in a grave, So he chose to be on the other side. He said he has like yeah, he trying to stay paid in his next life. That's what he said. That means he's trying to stay melanated. Going to the right. He's becoming more righteous on the right side of the electromagnetic frequency spectrum. So, do y'all remember on Sicko Mode video when he was like flying through outer space and like parts of his face was flying out? That represented like the parts of him that was not so melanated, but the parts of him that were stuck to his skull. And he said, he was flying through, outer space like a gamma ray. Hmm. He said 13 hours till I land, and then it showed that giant meteor hit the earth. Mhm. Mhm. You went to Houston last year? I'm glad you liked it. Mhm. What is my y'all asking me all these weird my interpretation of New World Order. Um, Not what y'all think it is. Um, See, here's the thing. If New World Order was promoted to what it was really going to be, people would actually do something about it. So it has to be promoted in the opposite way because no one will do anything about it. It's like it's a genius plan, but it's almost like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about New World Order. If people knew what it was for real, there'd be a lot more people trying to stop it. Let's just say that. Y'all, some of y'all understand what I'm saying. So good thing y'all don't really know what it is. So Friday the 13th is tomorrow. Yeah. So y'all should. I'm trying to tell y'all without saying it. Come on, think like me. If if people knew what New World Order really was, they would stop it. They're not stopping it because of what they think it is. It's not as bad as, you know, whatever. It's not super bad because no one is stopping or trying to stop it. If they knew what it really was, I guarantee you people would try to stop it. So New World Order is covert. Exactly. I'll just say that. It is a covert operation under the guise of something else. Okay. You said the New World Order is white supremacy. That's the guise. Yep. So if you knew what it was, okay, so people have said it thousands of times, white supremacy. No one does anything about it. So obviously, New World Order is okay with a lot of people. But obviously, that's not what it really is going to be. hmm It's Rick Ross said, "You ninjas snitching," so he had to reroute it. And Money in the Grave, he said, he wants a house. Okay, right, right. Everything is orchestrated. Everything you see is orchestrated. Now you got some crazy people out there. Some stuff is real, but a lot of these major things are orchestrated. So mhm, that doesn't mean real people aren't sacrificed, though. Right. hmm The American flag is a symbol for white supremacy. No, it's not. Actually, if you break down the American flag, you'd be surprised. What if you know symbolism? You will see what the American flag really is saying. You got red and white stripes at the bottom and on the side, and you have blue with all the stars at the top on the right. Blue, Gamma ray on the electromagnetic spectrum field, that's melanin. Stars, people of the cosmos, will rule the US. The red and the white will be underneath. And that's exactly what's happening, the covert operation. If you listen to the Star Spangled Banner and the national anthem and decode it of what it really means, it gives you a whole nother meaning as well. It has to be decoded. Mhm. So, right, it'll make sense later on. Um, you want to know what's going to happen? Watch the Boondocks and the Simpsons, right? They're always putting information out. Thank you, my Melon Empress. Please decode Hot Girl Summer. Girl, I never watched that video. There are certain things I just don't click on because, like, I don't know, I'm not drawn to it. I'm drawn to more of lyrics. Like, it's just a little bit too ratchet for me. I just, I'm sorry. It's just a little too ratchet. I gotta focus. Hmm. It's symbolic. Okay, I'm gonna look at it since you said it's symbolic. I'm gonna look at it. I'll if you say it's symbolic, then I'm gonna take a look. Thank you. Hmm. People look at the skull in my background. Yes, isn't it beautiful? It was a gift, actually. Someone sent it to me. Very nice of them. What do I think of all these trans people? Interesting. You know what? I keep pondering and pondering on so many different topics. And, like, if I was a soul and I took someone out, two people out with me and somebody else, just like on the Crystal Gems or was that Steven Universe? If I take another consciousness out with me when I die and when I reincarnate, bring it back with me, then there's two consciousness in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like on Garnet. What was that? Garnet is made up of two different beings because they had to fuse together to save each other or something. I don't know, something like that. So I kind of see also, like, when beings reincarnate, when souls reincarnate, there may be a fusion of consciousness or two different consciousnesses in, or two spirited, as that's what they call it, in one soul. So if somebody was nice enough to grab your butt and drag you up to the cosmos and bring you back down with them because, y'all got to talking and liked each other, that's kind of how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have, like, I feel like, okay, so on the movie Get Out, they were trying to transfer someone's consciousness into another person's body so that they can also have, you know, the ability to leave as well. So in the spiritual realm, when a soul is leaving and a spirit may need rapturing, that spirit may have been raptured by that soul. So now that there's two spirits in one soul. Okay, there you go. That's the best way I can explain it as to how I've been thinking about it. Right. Why is it happening more and more? Because people are dying and taking people with them because kumbaya and old interracial marriages and uh, love and friendship and people getting along. Hmm. Or people harvesting organs. I don't just pick one, you know. Okay. Decoding is so much fun. Yeah, because it's not like you listen to songs for more than just to a, a beat. Now you listen for information. And it's like while you're vibing to a good song, you actually learning something. And it's like you start vibrating higher. And any ratchet song, as long as it has a message in it, you can vibrate higher on. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, that rap music is bad for you, and that low vibrational stuff." Not if you understand it. It ain't. You know, not if you know what you're reading in the lyrics or what they're saying. It's not. It's actually high vibrational. So, right. People. Oh, y'all are talking about each other. So, um, someone said, "So are white people genetically inferior?" Well, there is like, okay, so let's say there were aliens and they came to Earth long time ago, okay, and they look different. And there were beings already on the Earth and they were different. Would the beings on the Earth be considered inferior or just different? They were on the Earth, that's where they're from. They're not, you know, they didn't come from a cosmo place some far off. So why would they, care to go back? Or if they did come from somewhere else and they didn't leave, then what would make them inferior? The fact that they couldn't leave or wanted to leave and couldn't, or the fact that they wanted to leave and so then they started comparing themselves to other people. I don't think comparing ourselves to people is healthy if you want to say superior or inferior, because there are people that have superior things in different areas. You know what I'm saying? There's people superior in mathematics versus people who are superior in science and whatever. So I think we're just all a little bit different. But as far as wanting to do certain things, I'm not going to say, oh, that person over there is inferior. No, isn't superior to me because they can jump and flip 3 times and land on their feet. Because I'm not comparing myself to them. Okay. Um, Depending on what you're comparing it to. Right. So if you think about it, mhm. If you want to leave, go to the cosmos, you got to do it. You got to get a cosmic body. That's how you got to do it. You got to get a You got to get a space suit. How do you get a space suit? You do the math. Mhm. Please do the Zoolander. Bless you, Layla. Bad luck. Lil Nas got a lot of men. Oh God, Lil Nas. Hmm. Jayla under the a lot of people. That song. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. So guess what? They do. Uh-huh.
Think about this. Why would I want to rule the world when I have a galaxy?
What, Sasha? Come here. Say that again.
Why would I?
I can't hear you. Come. You have to come in here, baby.
But my hair.
That's okay. You. She playing with her hair and trying to style it in different style. No, what'd you say?
You didn't hear me?
Mm-mm. I wanted you to say it so they could hear.
Oh. Why would you want to rule the world when there's a big galaxy out there? Think about that. Why would you want to rule one place when you can rule 1,000? It's like saying that you want to get a mansion in one place, but you don't want to go explore the world. You just want to stay in one little box where there's many different boxes.
Uh-huh. So you want to go explore some other spots, huh?
Mhm.
That's good.
Whole galaxy.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you're gonna find?
Probably some different beings. I mean, like, we're not the probably the only ones that we don't clarify as animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's other stuff out there. You just gotta go find it.
You think we're the only most intelligent beings here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're not.
Mm-hmm. So why would you want to rule this planet when you can go do other stuff out there?
Mhm.
Find other places to go and create your own world on.
It's like winning the lottery and be like, what am I gonna do? Buy a mansion,
And stay in the house.
stay in the house, eat potato chips,
Potato chips.
and watch some TV.
Mm-hmm.
Big. I mean, like, why would you want to do that?
Mm. Thank you, Sanj.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I tried to dye my, like, not dye, but like color my hair in
Mm-hmm.
Melly Martinez, and I got it wet, like half and half poofy and half and half straight. It's just,
I'll fix it.
yeah, you better fix it before school.
I will.
I don't want to go to school and be like,
Two textures.
or like, I don't want to be like,
That's okay. I'm gonna fix it.
thank you.
You're welcome. Um, Earthbound. Earthbound. You can get a spacesuit. Remember, Shiny Suit Man? Yeah. Sasha wanted to share her little information, or I wanted her to share it. Hmm. So I think she's right about why certain people don't really care to rule the world, because they would get too caught up in it, and when it was time to leave and go explore something else or something new or transition, they wouldn't want to leave. They don't want to go.
Where's my hair? Oh, I found it.
Like, because they too busy trying to figure out how to rule the world. Oh, well, we got to do this, or we got to control this, or we got to make sure this is that, and we got to make sure our power don't get in somebody else's hand. A, B, C, and D. That's like having a that's like running a hotel, and some people just come go on vacation. Okay, some people come here to go on vacation. We don't want to run the hotel. Some people got to stay a little longer than others, but if you don't run the hotel, you can leave at any time. Go somewhere else. Go stay at another hotel. Go here. Go there. That's what she's saying. So we don't want to run the hotel. We're not in the hospitality business. So you know that's what it's like. Heartbreak Hotel, Michael Jackson. I think Elvis did one too. Right. Hotel California by the Eagles. those lyrics. Hmm. When they say, "Oh," and they asked him, "Can you please pour my wine?" And then he says, "We haven't had that spirit here since 1969." He's talk Wine is another code word for melanin. And like, can you give can I have some melanin? And like, oh, we don't have none. We out. You got to be reborn, you know, as you already are. So that whole song is super coded. Hmm. Right. Hotel Transylvania. But yeah, it's a vacation spot. It's a hotel. It's temporary dwellings. Who are Okay, let me make this bigger so I can read it. Sorry, y'all. Who are the most woke artists? I mean, obviously, I mean, the ones that are making the music. I know Prince was, Michael was, Beyonce and Jay Z. I know Kanye is for sure. Drake, Rick Ross, Lupe Fiasco for sure. There's a lot of conscious rappers that are not even famous and that are like just saying so much information, but they're not
I
mainstream.
have one more thing to say
Yeah.
before I
Erica
leave.
Badu. What one?
Poopity scoop.
Poopity Scoop.
Poopity scoop.
What do you think that song was?
I don't know.
It reminds me of a cat and scooping cat litter.
Me too. But you know what's weird? When I
Yeah.
think about it,
Hmm.
spiritually, but I don't know if it's accurate.
What?
Actually,
What?
uh, imagine the litter box
Hmm.
as Earth,
Mm.
and then the people are scooping them out into a bag, and then
Hmm.
that bag goes to a trash can, which say is another planet, and then it goes to the dump, which is a galaxy.
Hmm. Everything is living. Like everything has organism. That whole litter box is a galaxy
Yeah.
of bacteria.
Yes, disgusting. Sorry to eat
That's true. Everything is a worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds. Like if we if we took a microscope and just looked at the surface of my phone, this is probably a whole nother galaxy of living creatures. Disgustingness. To- so, mhm. Lilith, why did Prince become a Jehovah's Witness? Okay, you have to remember everything is coded. Break down Jehovah, break down Jesus. Like, um, you gotta do the decoding to understand. He was The whole thing is like a cover for something else. Everything is coded. Like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, he was religious. He was with Jehovah," but it's coded. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Hova, yeah. Then Jay Z is also like Je suis, which is spelled like Jesus. The French word suis, and then Je suis, Jay Z is I am. Then he says Hove, Hov. It's just an analogy. So it's everything is coded. People are just coding stuff. When they say this, they mean that, but you have to know how to decode it. Yep. What do I think about the Church of Scientology? Um, Weird. I understand that there's science. Everything is science, but when you try to make it into a cult, that's when it goes a little strange. The science is okay. The cult is not okay. Whenever someone tries to control, I don't think that's good. Why did Tupac die? Maybe he wanted to. Maybe he not really dead. Mhm. Okay. Maybe Michael Jackson ain't really dead either. When you choose to sacrifice your um, character for the masses, it's to change a frequency. You know what I mean? It's to open other people's eyes. It's to create a distraction. It's to take away something that was very valued to make you look at it closer. Okay, so a lot of things are for reasons why you're not understanding because you're not looking at life through how what can I learn from this? What can I get out of this, spiritually? So you have to understand like every sacrifice, whether real or fake, is to make you take a deeper look at things. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are very valuable to our to a lot of people, and if you take them away, um, what happens in people's minds when you take something that they cherish and relate to away? They start really trying to preserve that person. They really start trying to preserve their information and their memory because they know that it will get deleted. And while preserving it, they're going to study it. The smart ones will. If if they didn't care about that person really, or was too busy, or was made too busy to preserve it or to understand that person before, they faded away, then you know they got exactly what was intended through that sacrifice to understand that information that was trying to be pushed for so many years. Okay. Mhm. Begin with symbology. Right. Thank you. So I started decoding better when I became knowledgeable on certain etymology. Yep. And just the basic origins of certain words and ideas. That's one of the main things that I use as well. Hmm. Yeah. So like a lot of the album covers of these artists before their demise are very telling, are forecoming of what is to come. So you can obviously see that it's a lot of things are planned. Nothing is really coincidence like that. You don't put yourself on those type of images on your album cover. I know Tupac was on a cross. Uh, Biggie was in front of a hearse. Michael Jackson said, "This is it." So no coincidence. Okay. Right. Nipsey Hussle album. He was another one. You know. Mhm. And the reason why a lot of these are happening is to show you that there are many people willing to give up their name, literally, and to enlighten you. To give up their fame, their name, and all of that to open your eye. And in all places, like, for every type of people. Right. And like a lot of people after that Nipsey Hussle thing, they started looking deeper into things. People that just weren't paying attention, the young people, The people that are, too busy, you know, doing their thing to really be spiritually awoken, they are a little bit waking up now because of him, you know. Right. What's the worst situation I've been in? I don't know. I haven't been in it yet. I'm still waiting on it. The worst situation I've been in with haters on the internet. I don't know yet. I'm still waiting on it. You know, anticlimactic, right? So, right. People sacrifice their fame, fortune, name, life, not really life, but like they just go away somewhere for the benefit of many. Like, okay, if you if something happened to you, people are going to look into it. They're not just going to sweep that under the rug. They need to know what happened. And upon knowing what happened, they're going to start looking into the stuff you were about. And the stuff that you were about is pretty deep. So if they start reading what you read and get awake like you, then we'll be in a better position in a couple more years. Then we're going to, ask someone else to, step down, go behind the scenes. We're going to call it going behind the scenes and keep waking up more and more people until eventually enough people are awake to kind of figure stuff out, you know, because, with each generation, there's someone. There was Tupac, there was Biggie, there was uh, MJ, there was Prince, there was, just a lot of Nipsey. There was like a lot of people in between as well, whoever does it for them. So they're going to get, that awakening. Hmm. The system would be unbalanced if everyone was woke. I do say that all the time. It really would. But it would also, it would also alleviate the system. You know what I mean? Think about like the ancient days when everybody was probably more conscious. Think about those ancient days, you know, when everybody was more conscious. There was more peace, you know, less destruction, less people wanting to take over and push other people aside when there was more people awake. So I think that's what is trying to be accomplished, waking up more people so that they're not living for they don't they so they don't feel like they're not living for anything. Okay. Since you seek a proof of Christ, speak on me who is not weak towards you, but mighty in you. God's son. Right. Christ means anointed. So if you're anointed, if you got that anointment, you good. I anoint myself every day with this makeup and highlighter over my other anointment. I'm super anointed with cosmetics from the cosmos. Hmm. Let me know if I hear Satan tonight. You mean that cloud making machine? Okay, I'm gonna let you know. Thank you. You like my mood ring? Oh, I appreciate that. It turns like different colors like all day long. My mood must change. Um, Mhm. It also, it also teaches us to not be so quick with each other and to kind of ponder things and not react, but to kind of think less emotional and more, you know, patient. Hmm. For a woman, I can be pretty cutthroat and blunt. You got some Aquarian energy. Thank you. Well, I learned from through experience that if you're not cutthroat and blunt, no one will listen to you unless you're trying to manipulate them out of something and you're trying to do it in a nice way, butter them up. But when you're teaching stuff and when you're trying to get a point across, that's just how you have to be for people to hear you. Because if you think about it, if you're not upfront and blunt, probably 20% of what you said is only going to be heard. So that's why it has to be that way. It's nothing personal. Hmm. How come no women rappers die? Women rappers, okay, because women don't love women rappers like they love everybody else. It's the woman. That's why they don't target women rappers because men aren't like women are over certain like celebrities. Women take um, celebrities or even just regular people and give them so much love, and women are very emotional. So if a woman rapper died, all it wouldn't be like a male rapper died because they don't feel like, oh, that was in the back of their mind. They feel like it was a target. Oh, that person had a life to live and it was conspiracy. And like if it was a woman rap, women are usually made the villain or, something like that. So they would try to tear her down in some type of way. I just don't feel like a female rapper would get the same response if they had got killed. And plus, women aren't violent like that or targets. Hmm. It's just really weird. That's a good question though. What if Nipsey death shook the world image? What? Imagine Drake or Kanye or Chris. Oh, I don't think people will really care about Chris. Thank you, Shayla. Hi, Shira. Just tuning in. Thank you for inspiring me to level up and apply alchemy. Your channels and elixirs has helped raise my vibration. I look forward to continuing to evolve and rise. Oh, thank you, Shayla. Girl, sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Cindy Dab. Hey, big sis. Love you so much. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, thank you, Cinda B. I appreciate that. So I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Nay, I didn't see. So yeah, they're not beloved enough yet. You know what I'm saying? There's no one beloved enough on that level like a Michael Jackson. Right, right. Why aren't the talented lyrical female rappers? Tierra Whack is on Beyonce's album Lion King. She's on there. She has like a whole song. Hmm. It's right. I think Hollywood targets women like how they did the men. I wonder why. I don't think Hollywood targets women. Um, Women aren't. It would have to like it would have to be someone that did something. It would have to be like a Oprah, and then not everybody even like Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Because of certain things. So it's hard. It's hard because women are pretty much, they're not. They're held to different standards. How about that? Women are held to different standards, and in order to get do a certain thing, they got to be a certain way, and da, 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 da. So they can't even really be their authentic selves. The world probably don't even really know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So you probably don't even know who people really are because like most women, you will never see their authentic self as far as how they talk, walk, act, because there's two. We're held at a higher standard. Okay, Lizzo, right? Hmm. Hmm. I wouldn't really care about being a part of Hollywood. That's the thing, though. Like, if I if my dream was to be a singer, actress, Hollywood, that I would not go to Hollywood to do it. I would figure it out on my own, or I would just do it locally and have my little group band or whatever. I wouldn't really care about fame as long as I had some money and I was good. I would be fine. Most people don't need that recognition or fame, you know. So I would never. I wouldn't. I don't see how people can get caught up in that and like cherish it and value it so high because I don't see any glamour in it at all. Honestly, I see zero glamour in it at all. Um, I've been offered like, oh, will you come do a show or will you talk on this channel and will you do this and can I interview? I'm like, you have to fly out. I'm like, I ain't flying nowhere. Y'all got to come to me. I'm like that. I don't care. Like seriously. It's like, no, my kids are in school. They pause because they're like, we're inviting you to LA, to Beverly Hills. No, my kids are in school. I don't care. And that's the funny thing about it. Like most people would jump at opportunities such as that. And I'm like, I don't care. Wow. I'm too lazy anyway. So they gotta come to me. I'm that person. Y'all gotta come to me. That like y'all go to Oprah, y'all gotta come to me. I'm too tired. I don't think I'm all that. I'm just not getting ready to do all of that. You see, because I don't think they're all of that. So that's the whole thing I think about fame in Hollywood. I don't think it's. I don't think that it's appealing to me. There's nothing that they can offer me. Hmm. So I what? Your soul, right? I saw some YouTuber who was offered some type of deal, and he had to go to Hollywood or California or Hollywood and meet with all these people. And he was talking about his experience and how people were really weird there, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, um, and he like gave it up, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I'm good where I'm at. Mhm. You worked and lived in Hollywood. It's fake and phony. I'm sure it is. This planet only manifesting because millions. Okay, Can you do a video on how to safely conceive a child with cancer? Girl, what? Go have sex. You know what I'm saying? How do you sell a soul? Who's buying them? Um, so yeah, who buying them souls? I think you can sell your influence. You can sell your influence. Like you can sell your favors. Like, okay, you got to sign this contract. We're gonna come with some music. We're gonna have some songwriters for you. Just do this, sell it, da 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 da. A, B, C, and D. Push this agenda, and I'll give you a contract. You'll be on a yacht tomorrow. What you think? Most people say yes if they're coming from nothing and are desperate for money and fame. They're gonna say yes. Um, so when they say selling their soul, they mean they're selling their influence. Because if you have large influence and they can use you to push their agenda any which way, then you're selling, you know, your influence over people. Hmm. Why do they expose R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein when everybody knows they're been doing it? You missed it when I told you earlier. A lot of these people who are involved highly in all of this are exposing are making up things to expose themselves with, or it's very deep. It's very hard to explain for someone who's not really into this information, but it's all purposely done to awaken people, to get people to look deeper. I've already dealt with all of that like months ago when it was being all over the TV. So if you didn't get that, there's like during that time it's on the video. Right? It's kind of like we are the creators of all of this. Everything is orchestrated, and all of those things are put on public display for a reason. Okay, all of it is on display for a reason. Think about a mirror. Think about the mirror. Okay, you said Epstein and R. Kelly. One is still in jail. One is supposedly gone. Right. Uh, hmm. But since he's not R. Kelly, nobody's looking for him. You say he ain't dead, but since he ain't R. Kelly, nobody's looking for him. If R. Kelly had killed himself, believe me, they'd be looking for him. They have about 3 people in prison that look like R. Kelly. We found him. He ain't dead. So it's just to show it's just to show you things. It's to show you things. It's to make you think. You know, it's to make you open your eyes and see some stuff going on. Hmm. I'm here twice in one day. Hey, that's what I'm saying. All of it is orchestrated. Everybody that went to prison on the news, it's publicly, celebrity wise, it's orchestrated. They signed up for that when they sold their soul, their influence. Okay, when you sell your influence, when they call in that favor, you got to go do that favor, no matter what it is. Look, you ain't nothing without me. I got some on you. When I say Chess piece move, chess piece move. Yes, you got to do this. I said, I will call on you, just like on that Sabrina the Teenage Witch. When I call on you for a favor, you can't question me. You got to go do it, or stuff gonna start happening. Don't matter what it is, it's part of my plan. Just do it. You got it? All right. That's what they do. Like, and everyone takes it like, oh my God, that really happened. No, that was the favor that they had to go do. That was their sacrifice for the greater good. Right. So now you see. The chilling adventures of Sabrina. Yes. Thank you. 'Cause those are two different shows. You're right. That is my present task. Free will or predetermined destiny? Depends. I think it's a little bit of both, but we have choices within to make it seem like free will. But at the end of the day, since we've already done this before, who knows? It's a paradox, right? So, what are the elixirs y'all talking about? Oh, they're on my Etsy store. They raise your frequency. They go on phases: phase one, two, three, and up to seven. And then there's a shift spray for the shift that's happening. You spray it in your water and you drink it, and it just eases all the it eases all of the pains or focusing during the shift, and the planet being at where it is right now and how people are vibrating. Also the 5G that's out there, it helps with that. It also helps give you energy, focus. It helps you manifest. It's just so many different things. You have to go and read what they do. Oh, right. I don't know if there is an afterlife, but what I do know is that I'm happy smoking this weed right here. Andrew, go ahead. As long as you're happy. At least he's honest. Mhm. Do I still do tarot card readings? No, I quit because, man, people like, if I found someone, if more people were awake, I'd do them. Y'all be asking me the dumbest questions. I can't. I done hung it up, passed it on to somebody else. I can't. Like, when you have a serious, person that's like off into the spiritual knowledge, and you have like this tool in your hand that can just take someone to the next level, and they're asking about some mundane stuff, it's like I'm wasting my time. So I had to set them down because I had grown beyond them. I had grown beyond them, and I think my talents and skills are much better helping people figure out other things right now. hmm What is happening with all the high vibration spirit bodies with this shift? I feel like I think everyone feels different things. So you have to, each person is an individual. I feel like I'm receiving more information and knowledge. hmm I have a drawer full of cards right down here. I don't even use them anymore. They collect and dust. I use them sometimes, for fun, or when I'm just playing around or doing stuff on my own. But I don't do readings anymore. 'Cause it's like Mhm. Mm-mm. So, I don't even pull it for myself because I create my own future. Whatever that card say, I'm override it anyway. I mean, I'll look at it and see what it's gonna say, but then I'm still override it. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. But see, I would ask a question that really didn't have anything to do with past, present, and future. I would ask a question that had to do with, spiritual insight. I would use it to develop myself and not answer some questions about something outside of self. You know, so I would use them for the correct reason. Right. Do you think we are in a simulation? Yeah. Well, I think that the sky, I'm just going to say, I think that the sky is has been altered into a digital sky recently. I believe that we are in a time loop or standing still in that time as far as how the cosmos works is that Earth is at a standstill. Hi, I'm about to get off in 5 minutes. So I'm getting ready to go in 5 minutes. hmm Because I was decoding those Beyonce lyrics and feeling myself. And oh, I'm getting a lot of messages. Hold on. And that was at the beginning of the video when I was quoting the lyrics, and she says, "Oh, she changed the game with that digital drop. Know where you were when that digital popped. I stopped the world, male or female. It makes no difference. I stopped the world. World stop. Carry on." So that was in I'm Feeling Myself. She says, change the game with that digital drop. Know where you were when that digital popped. So that means that a major event happened when they changed the sky because nobody was paying attention to the sky during, a major event. Who's looking up at the sky when everybody trying to find out what happened to Michael Jackson? Okay. Um, I stopped the world, and he did. He stopped the world, the internet, the frequency of the world went on the same frequency. There was no balance. It was just almost same frequency. Um, it makes no difference. I stopped the world. World stop. Carry on. Okay. So um, you saw the sky. The shift is awesome. I saw showers of stars moving around back and 3 a.m. last night after 3 afternoon. You saw a video? Cool. I found it. Like I snapped a picture of a. Ooh, sorry. I did snap a picture of a cloaked aircraft as well. So maybe it's green screen. Who knows? But I saw it. You made a video? Cool. So anyway, I guess we'll figure out when we start getting out this time loop. I'll see y'all when we get. I mean, hopefully we won't be discussing the same thing next year that we in a time loop. I don't even really care. I'm good. Mhm. I'm not super concerned about anything. Like I have no worries. I'm good. I don't feel like there's anything that I'm supposed to be doing except using this time wisely to, learn and help others learn. But that's it. How is asking if you were still reading tarot cards a dumb question? Oh, it wasn't a dumb question. I just said people ask me dumb questions. It's why I don't read tarot cards anymore. I wasn't saying it was a dumb question to you. I was saying the people that I would do readings for would ask dumb questions, and that's why I stopped doing it. So sorry if you thought I was talking to you. Okay. I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot. So I just stopped. It was like it was getting to be ridiculous after a while. I'm like, I'm done. Okay. So like when people start asking me dumb stuff, I knew it was time to stop. Like in the beginning, it was cool. Then you get to a point where you've evolved past certain things, and then also people start pushing you into another direction by, you know, asking silly questions. So you're like, okay, it's time to put this up and pick up something else. If I was still doing readings, I wouldn't be as good as I am at decoding things. So I have to put that down and pick up something else. It was time to move on. You can get a card reading everywhere on every corner. Okay. Um, you're decoding now. That's good. What kind of questions would they ask? Let me think of the dumbest question I've heard so y'all can laugh. Will I ever meet Drake? That was one question that was like, I am done. Another question was, let me see. I don't even try to think about stuff anymore, but I had some silly ones, y'all. Mm-mm. Y'all have no idea how many times Drake come up in my readings from people. He must got some special sacred sprinkle or something. But every time I do a reading, every week somebody gonna ask about Drake. I'm like, what the heck? What y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to get pregnant or something? What? Somebody already beat y'all. But it's just weird. Yes. It's kind of funny though, but I would get dumb questions like that. Like, will I do you see me meeting somebody special in the next 2 months? Um, is my husband coming? I'm like, what do you look like? Because that's when I really had to start that level up because a lot of people was coming. Well, they told me my husband was coming tomorrow or this week or next week, and then I'm looking at their picture. I'm like, they ain't coming, baby. They're not coming. You you need to level up, okay? And plus, people started becoming too dependent on readings, and they weren't thinking anymore. They stopped thinking and making their own decisions and waiting on somebody that ain't on the way. It says your husband Jesus. But you're gonna be waiting a long time. Um, so that's when I started trying to give advice instead of readings. I'm like, well, maybe if you fix yourself up, he might recognize you. Your future husband. He might not. Think about this. How is your future husband going to know who you are if you look at your worst? Do you think a man walks around in his head envisioning the worst thing possible, and when he see it, that's his wife? No. If you walking around looking crazy, how's your husband, whose mind, the image of the wife in his mind is attractive, and you walking around ugly? He not gonna recognize you. So that's when I started on, like, y'all need to level up. That's when I started that group because people were dependent on husbands to show up out of the blue sky and marry him because a reader told him that they was gonna be married next year. And I don't know why y'all lied to them people like that. Y'all was wrong for that. So I had to take them and dust them off and polish them up and throw them out there so they have a real chance. So when you get a reading, be realistic, you know, be realistic about everything. That's why I had to stop because I'm like, well, I went to another reader and they told me my man was coming. I'm like, and he turned around and left, baby, because he not looking like that. Okay. But I helped them. They got it. They got it together after a while, you know. Anyway, somebody got to tell them the truth, you know. Eventually, somebody gonna tell you the truth. You might not like it in the beginning, but you'll thank them later. Hmm. Anyway, yep. They would ask me to cast a beauty spell for them too. Like, okay, well, what you gonna do on your end? Because it only works with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Layla, baby, what you doing? You like those stickers? All right, she's ready for me to go. That's her cue. Mom, come on. Before I snatch your wig. That was her threat. I gotta get off. I will see you guys later. Bye.
I was not trying to snatch your wig.